It's been a very busy 8 months on this channel. We've successfully released 5 squirrels that were rescued. We had a pair of screech owls lay 4 eggs. One of them hatched, and they successfully had a fledgling. In the neighbor's tree, there were a pair of red-bellied woodpeckers that carved out a nest and laid eggs and had a successful batch of babies. And then there have been various other animals that have come and gone. So this is 2,000 images taken from many of the videos that I've released during the last 8 months. So I'll talk a little bit about what you're seeing here. The first pair of squirrels that I released were released in early spring. They had been rescued last year, and they weren't old enough yet to be released at the beginning of winter. And it's usually better for their success rate to let them go in the middle when spring starts and there's lots of leaves in the trees. So while I had those in the soft release cage, at the same time, a female squirrel called Minnie had moved into one of the nest boxes. She was pregnant and delivered one baby. And then in the other nest box, there were a pair of screech owls that had moved in. They laid a total of 4 eggs, and one of those managed to hatch. And from hatching to fledging for screech owls is about 30 days. And it's pretty amazing. The screech owls will grow up. They look almost as large and as mature as the adults by the time they fledge. Back over to the soft release cage, the first 2 squirrels that were released were around 6 months old when they were released, and that was Mia and Leo. Leo still actually comes by. Mia may come by, but Leo is friendly enough that I can go out there with a bowl of nuts, and he'll select nuts and hang out and let me tickle his feet and chat with him. After they were released, I then received three more rescue squirrels. One of those was actually born in the nest box. As I said, Minnie this was her second season to put a nest there, and unfortunately, 3 weeks after she had delivered Molly, she got run over. So I had to go up to the nest box, rescue Molly, and take her to the rehabber. The rehabber found 2 other orphans to be her surrogate, to be her adopted brothers, and so that was Molly, Moby, and Marley. So after I released Leo and Mia, within a couple weeks, then I had 3 new young squirrels to take care of, and they hadn't been weaned yet, so I was still feeding the squirrels formula. When you're feeding squirrels formula, you end up having a lot of contact with them, and so Molly became, she was very affectionate, and you could hold her, and she really seemed to enjoy the interactions. I'm bringing that up because later in here you'll see some images where she's coming, and this is after she had been released, she would return, and I would say those weren't just food visits, they were also social visits. I would groom her and make sure she didn't have any parasites, no fleas or ticks or anything like that. Now, it's been about a month since I've seen Molly, which is not unusual. Squirrels will eventually go off and establish their own territory. There are quite a few squirrels that already live here that visit, that also will come and get nuts. One of those is a squirrel that I call Cher. This is probably her 3rd or 4th pregnancy. You can see that she's also nursing right now. She hasn't brought any of her pups yet. They're probably only in the sort of 2 or 3 week age, I would guess, right now. All these images that you're seeing are from videos that I've recorded in the last 8 months. Obviously, you can see some that are from inside the soft release cage, like right here. That's Moby, Marley, and Molly playing around. You'll see some outdoor ones, of course. That's when some of those are the release squirrels, or you're going to see action inside the nest box with the 2 screech owls. At the moment, both of the nest boxes are completely empty, and and also the soft release cage is empty. And so I'm actually about to take a break, and that's why I was just releasing all these images. I'm going to take a break and probably just, since there's not really anything going on right now, I'll just have the 2 nest boxes inside and outside view, and hopefully we'll have some squirrels move in there. That's my plan. Occasionally a mom will move her pups when they're sort of in the 3 or 4 week old range to a larger space, and that's what happened 2.5 years ago. You may have noticed in some of these images there's a camera that's mounted over an outdoor nest or dray, and I found this nest back in some of the trees in my side yard, about 8 feet high, 6 to 8 feet high, and it looked like it had been abandoned. So I mounted a camera over it, and after Molly was released, she found it and started to add branches and leaves to it and to make it into a dray. And there were some times too when it looked like both Moby and Marley had found it too. You'll also see sometimes when there's some little possums in there. There's a rat that comes through there. I think I even saw a raccoon come and inspect it once. So Molly's not living in it now. She's probably moved on to a higher place. I think it was a good sort of starter nest for her, and she definitely had fun sleeping in it at night and taking naps in it during the day. But like I said, I haven't seen her in that for, boy, I think it's been since May was the last time she was in there. So, as I said, I think I mentioned this is about 2,000 images. These are all taken from videos that I've released over the last eight months. And as I said, things are really quiet right now. I don't have any squirrels in the soft release cage. Both of the nest boxes are completely empty. Nobody's living or even showing up in the natural dray right there. So I'm going to take a break from this. I probably will just aim both the cameras at the two nest boxes, interior and exterior. I will occasionally be putting food out for the squirrels, but they all pretty much seem to be doing really, really well on their own. So I'll go ahead and let this play out. Yeah, I know it's a little jerky. What happens whenever I release a video, I have to make a thumbnail for it, and so these are images that I've snapped of the videos before I release them to find a good thumbnail. By the way, too, that I don't know if you saw it, there's a squirrel. We called him the water bowl thief. There was a squirrel, a male squirrel, that tried to steal the water bowl like 3 or 4 times, and he would bring it to the small release door, even though the access door was wide open. There was a 3 foot by 6 foot wide door that was completely open. He would take the water bowl over to the little 3-inch diameter hole, and he couldn't get it out there. He did that a bunch of times. So anyway, so that's it. Everything's going good. Like I said, I'm just going to take a bit of a break with the video cameras that I'm streaming. Hope everything's going great for you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll check in with you later. I'd also really like to thank all the people that take the time to vote the videos up. I really appreciate that. And I read all the comments. I love reading your comments. So if you have anything you want to say, I'd like to see what you guys have to say and have any of your feedback. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. We'll check in with you later. Thanks.